sudden hate for SG. Perhaps the weirdest storyline wasn't even on the court. It was the sudden change in how fans viewed Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Just a year ago, SGA was one of the NBA's golden boys. Smooth, humble, stylish, in the face of Oklahoma City's rise. Then everything flipped. Suddenly, fans were calling him a foul merchant and free throw merchant while criticizing his mid-range heavy style. The crazy part? His game didn't suddenly get worse. The perception changed. The same superstar fans celebrated as the future of the NBA suddenly became one of its biggest villains. Bam Adebayo broke Kobe's 81-point record. Kobe Bryant's 81-point game had stood for nearly 2 decades. It was one of those records that felt almost untouchable. Then Bam Adebayo broke it, and that's what made it unbelievable. Bam is known for defense, rebounding, playmaking, and interior scoring, not dropping 80-plus points. But everything went nuclear that night. Shot after shot fell until one of the greatest scoring records in NBA history had a completely unexpected new owner. The NBA's gambling scandal. Then things got serious. Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups was arrested over an alleged mafia-linked poker scheme. Miami's Terry Rozier was also taken into custody over an alleged betting-related scheme. 2 separate NBA figures, 2 investigations, 1 season. And the bigger issue wasn't simply breaking league rules. It raised questions about whether gambling could influence games, players, or information surrounding them. At that point, this wasn't just NBA drama, it was a legitimate national story. KD's burner account. Then came pure internet chaos. Kevin Durant was caught using a burner account to talk trash about his own teammates. Think about that. One of the greatest scorers ever secretly logging into a fake account to argue about his own locker room. There's no complicated explanation. It was Kevin Durant, a burner account, talking about his teammates. You couldn't write better NBA internet drama. The rookie class came out swinging. And no, this isn't just about Cooper Flagg. VJ Edgecombe exploded in his NBA debut against Boston with 34 points. According to the season records, that was the highest scoring NBA debut since 1974 and the 3rd highest in league history. Before the game, casual fans barely knew him. After it, everyone was asking, who the hell is VJ Edgecombe? One game completely changed his introduction to the NBA. The Clippers started 6-21. The Clippers entered the season expecting to compete for around 50 wins. Instead, they started 6-21. That's barely above a 20% winning percentage. This wasn't just a slow start. A talented roster had already dug itself into a massive hole before the season really began. Not every crazy NBA story needs a record. Sometimes it's just watching a team completely fall apart. LeBron carried the Lakers past Houston at 41 years old. LeBron entered the playoffs against a young Houston Rockets team. The Lakers went up 3-0, but Houston fought back and won games 4-5. Suddenly, the series was 3-2. Then LeBron closed it. In Game 6, he recorded 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists as the Lakers crushed Houston 98-78. Across the series, he averaged 23.2 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 8.3 assists. The crazy part wasn't just the numbers. It was watching a 41-year-old LeBron still control a playoff series when his team needed him most. The 65-game rule. A rule most fans barely thought about suddenly became extremely important. Players generally need 65 games to qualify for major awards like All-NBA. Cade Cunningham and Luka Doncic finished with 64. Anthony Edwards played 61, and his attempt to qualify through the league's extraordinary circumstances provision was rejected. The consequence, it affected his eligibility for a Supermax extension worth roughly $300 million. One missing game wasn't just a statistic, it could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. The Knicks' 29-point comeback. The Knicks were down 29 points against the Spurs in Game 4 of the NBA Finals. At one point, San Antonio led 81-52 with 9:40 left in the 3rd quarter, and it started to look like the Spurs were about to tie the series at Game 4. Then New York started clawing its way back. They closed the 3rd quarter on a 23-9 run, cutting the deficit to 15. And in the 4th, the Knicks kept coming. Jalen Brunson finished with 36 points, while OG Anunoby dropped 33. But San Antonio still had the lead with seconds remaining. Then OG Anunoby made the play of the night. After blocking De'Aaron Fox on one end, Anunoby tipped in Brunson's missed 3 with 1.2 seconds left. The Knicks won 107-106, a 29-point comeback in the NBA Finals, the largest comeback in Finals history, and somehow the team that looked completely finished with a 29-point deficit was now 1 win away from a championship. Wemby versus SGA, and finally the beginning of what could become the NBA's next great rivalry. Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs faced Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the reigning champions. Wemby represented the future trying to take over. SGA represented the champion trying to stay there. So this wasn't simply one playoff series. It was potentially the beginning of a rivalry that could define the next decade. And after the scandals, records, burner accounts, rookie explosions, collapses, and unbelievable comebacks, and somehow this season still had more to offer. Because after the Knicks became champions, one debate came roaring. Could the 2026 Knicks actually beat the 2016 Cavaliers? If you want the full breakdown of who would win that series, subscribe.